Hi everyone, today I'll bring you round 10 of the encounter at the Tata Steel Chess Tournament between Caruana and Firouza. And so white is Caruana and Firouza is black, and here we can see to the right of my screen Wesley and Caruana is currently leading this tournament. And so we're going to have a look at this game, and the principle that I want to say today is pawns like to be on the move, they like to be mobile, so that's one of my principles, and we might see some play like that today, so that's why I'm calling it this today. So this tournament is the 82nd edition of this since its initial onset, and it is played at Wilk aan Zee. And so here I have on the left of my screen a picture of the red area of Northern Holland, which is of course where my parents derive from. But anyway, this is not about me, this is about this game here. So here I notice that it's a new day and the same jacket is being worn by Firouza. So it's probably quite cold there in Holland because he's from a warmer climate than that of maybe where my parents came from. So here we go. This is this game for you, and I hope you enjoy this game. I certainly do. So we have the opening moves for the classical King's Indian set, which is d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4. So, and then d6. As e5 is going to be quite good for white. So here we go. We've got the classic position now. I believe the next move that Caruana now plays is h3, and castle comes about, and then we have bishop e3, so it's looking quite normal still, and knight c6, and here we have d5 move. Okay, now the knight goes to e5, which is one of the moves it can go to, of course, and we have f4. So this is asking the knight to either move it or lose it or take something. So the black knight opts for moving it. So it goes to d7, and here we have then we have g4. So Caruana is playing 6 pawns attack, like the Yugoslav attack, or so he's actually playing 6 pawn attack here. It's almost like he just wants to wipe black off the board. So, and it's not too bad, is it, really? I mean, have a look at it. Here comes c6 and knight f3 and cd, cd. And we have b6 and knight d4 and knight c5. A wee bit of a surprise because it looks like black wants to do something about their c6 square. But here comes knight c5 for black. So white now defends the pawn on e4, which was attacked twice. And so here we have bishop b7, and white continues on with g5. Now at this point, black is probably getting a wee bit tired of these pawns. This is probably theory still, which it's move 5 is h3 is theory. So now white is met with knight fe4 and knight e4, of course, might as well, and bishop d5, knight f6, ef6, queen d5. And then we have rook e8, which is obviously threatening the bishop on e3 with rook e3, or rook takes e3 check. So white plays knight c2. Now fg5, and now white takes this opportunity to get rid of the pin on the bishop by an obvious move, castling long. And here is gf4. Now, can white play bishop takes f4 back here now? Can white play that? Or does white play something else? So can white play bishop f4? I hope you said no, because if white plays bishop f4, then we have this annoying move here, queen f6. Now this is just threatening simultaneously queen f4 check and queen b2 check, which both look quite good for black, even though black's a piece down. And white cannot play queen d6 here, defending the bishop as well as just allowing queen b2 check, because after queen b2 check, queen takes b2 check, white plays king d2, only move, and then rook a d8 or rook e d8 wins the queen for rook. So white would all of a sudden be in what I would consider a lost position. So that's not very nice for white. So white played the move that I thought white would play when I was looking at this game at the onset, is bishop d4. And here we have a chomping of the bit of bishop d4 and queen d4. Now, of course, white is threatening queen f4 and trying to mop up black's pawns, which are exactly what black has for their piece down. So here's 96. Okay. Now the queen, where did the queen go now, Dave? Did it go to d3? Oh, d2. Okay, so we have queen d2 and queen f6 and king b1. And rook a c8, and bishop goes out to b5, attacking the rook, and rook comes out from that attack square to d8. Now we have knight b4, and now black plays d5. Can white take the pawn on d5 with their knight? Because it looks quite good, doesn't it? Because knight d5 looks quite good, because we're checking the queen, and we're also, if the queen moves to f5 and checks, then we can just go knight e7 check, can't we? Okay. So what happens if white takes the pawn on d5 with knight d5? If anything. We have a simple tactic. So if knight d5, okay, we don't want to go there, we want to go there. Cancel. I'll just cancel that. Cancel. I will just go down this line. Okay, so we're going to look at knight d5 right now, and the analysis comes up just next to Grandmaster, super Grandmaster Wesley So. Knight d5. Then we have just this queen check. Okay, now if bishop d3 or something like that, or even queen d3, then we have either queen d5 or rook d5, depending which one white plays. But if white plays king here, then we have a simple move that that white saw. So what does white now get met with? Okay, white gets met with rook d5. You think, oh, hang on, that's just like queen d5, duh. And now I've got a rook up. until you see the next move, which is a driving away sacrifice motive with rook c1 check. Okay, now the rook, I'm glad that you saw this, rook c1, and now we have just queen d5, and now black is in a superior position as far as I'm concerned, especially with this f4 passed pawn, which can be connected and passed and everything. So there you have it. So here we go with the main line. So white did not take the pawn on d5 with check to the queen, which looks quite reasonable, but it's a blunder. So white played here rook a h f1, rook h, some people would say h, and kink, but and here we have rook c5 and a4 and d4 and knight d3 and rook f5, rook f3, g5 and rook g1, which this is wanting to play h4. Black plays king f8 and h4 happens anyway, because if gh4, then white's pawn position is supreme comparative to that of black's, where black is tangled up their pawns, in my opinion. So h4 and h6 happens, and we just take this pawn, and take this pawn, I don't, but Caruana does. And here we have rook h3, which is threatening to swing into black's h file somewhere, that sort of thing. f3, bishop c4 and king e7. Now a wee bit of a surprise is the next move. What did white now play next move? It's a wee bit of a surprise, but it's not a sacrifice. So what would you play now? Good on you if you see it. Bishop e6. This is a clearing away capture to remove one of the pieces that protect black's king, of course. And as you would notice, black's starting to move their king around the board, and they end up looking like they've mechanically castled on the queen side, even though they initially castled on the king side. So if e6, I would say that rook h7 might be a move, or queen b4 check, or queen b4 check may be a move, but I'm not completely sure. So after bishop e6, no good is queen e6, because that would allow rook e1 and then the queen is clearly lost for rook, so white would be in a clear one position, unless of course black went queen e1, knight e1 and f2. Then it's a wee bit different. Okay, that would be a wee bit different, because now black's just threatening f1 queen, even though white's got a whole lot of pieces up. So there would be a way to take better, which would be queen e1 check. So anyway, it's just a bit of analysis there. So we have king e6 and queen h2. So now this queen is probably wanting to go to c7, and here's f2 and rook f1. And we also threaten, of course, rook h6, which wins the queen. It forks the queen on f6 to the king on e6. So king d7. And now I think it's rook F, no, it's rook H6, always gets me that one, and queen E7 and rook F2. And same thing again, that after rook F2, it's best to take with the queen, because the knight is in a reasonable position here. Now comes king C8, and some people might play rook C6 check and think that's quite exciting looking. Probably is. But here Caruana plays A5, just battering, ramming this B6 pawn, which now captures on A5. So if white cannot get through here, black will have a lot of pawns for their piece. But here comes queen C2 check, and here we have king B8, and then we have I believe knight C5, and here it's starting to look quite nasty if you haven't already thought that. And so we have rook D6 and rook H8 and rook D8, which is check, rook D8, and now we have the quiet check, queen B3 check, king C7. What else? There's no other move on the planet, because if king C8, then we are going to play rook D8 check, and etc. And it looks quite healthy for white. King C7, and we have queen B7 check and king D6, and then we don't play knight E4, we play rook H6 check, which invites F6, frankly, because otherwise if we move the king, then it's queen takes queen check, and mate will soon follow, or that sort of thing. So black now plays F6, and here's the finale move. Can you find it that caused black to resign? Is knight E4 check. That is the end of the session, and this this game from the January 22nd, Wednesday 2020, at the Tata Steel Chess Tournament. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Pawns are made to be mobile. They hate sitting on the bench. Number 40 of my chess principles. Thank you very much. Over and out.